Jehovah's Witnesses have quite a lot of people, and they had breaking news on March 28th for things that we've been covering for months in the exJW community.
Yeah, right.
I thought this was interesting how they phrase this. Jehovah's Witnesses to appeal unconstitutional ruling in Norway.
Which is a loaded title right there. I mean, that's
quite loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, well, that's not for Jehovah's Witnesses to say. They've been saying it's unconstitutional the whole time. The courts keep disagreeing with them. They keep looking at the Constitution and being like, no, I think you're actually violating it. So they said on March 4th, 2024, it kind of reveals that they've been a little late to the party here. The Oslo District Court upheld the Norwegian government's decision to revoke the legal registration of Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway. Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway will appeal the decision. Now, they do say this later. They say the decision to deregister Jehovah's Witnesses denies us the financial aid and other benefits that the government provides to over 700 registered religious communities in the country. Additional consequences include losing the right to appoint and authorize ministers of Jehovah's Witnesses as officiants for weddings. But I think, like, this is an example where they're not giving all of the context to the members, and so it sounds way worse than it is. Like, when you think, or like if I'm a witness reading this and I heard, oh wow, they're revoking illegal registration, that means that Jehovah's Witnesses are illegal in Norway. And it's like, that's not what it's saying. It's just saying that they don't get free money. They don't get free money to do crimes. Yeah. And that's kind of it. And like the fact that they're saying like, we don't get to appoint and authorize ministers to Jehovah's Witnesses as officiants for weddings. You know what they don't say is that you can still get married. You can still get married, and you can do it in a kingdom hall. You just, it doesn't count as a legal ceremony. You have to sign a piece of paper at the courthouse or whatever.
Yeah.
Do they even mention the shunning stuff?
Well, yeah, they say that they say that, no, they don't really. The position of the state now remains that it will continue to deny legal recognition to Jehovah's Witnesses in the country of Norway unless we change our practices regarding the removal of unrepentant wrongdoers from the congregation. Which is not what they're saying. I mean, you can still kick people out. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the way you treat people who are kicked out or who are minors who are facing disciplinary action in the congregation. Those effects are harmful, and we have laws that this practice violates those laws that are designed to protect children. So Mark O'Donnell had a good tweet on this, and he said here, it's noteworthy that Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway and around the world are being spoon-fed a corrupted and misleading summary of this case. Nowhere will you find a link or a copy of the decision of the Oslo Court within the JW newsfeed or anywhere else that the witnesses source information from. It's like, they could give all the same information that us ex-Jehovah's Witnesses share. They could share it with Jehovah's Witnesses. They won't. They want to control the narrative and give them a limited understanding of what's actually taken place. So
yeah, well, and they don't want to do that because then they would have to acknowledge that they lie in court to trick people into giving them money like a crime. Like this, even the way they phrase this, it's very strategic. Unless we change our practices regarding the removal of unrepentant wrongdoers from the congregation. That is not what this is about. It is about shunning and the fact that minors can get baptized and therefore are subject to shunning if they ever change their mind. Like, what they don't say is that one unrepentant wrongdoing is not wanting to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. So if you're a kid who gets baptized as a minor, from little kids to late teens, whatever, if you ever decide you just don't want to be a witness, you're subjected to shunning. And that's a violation of religious freedom. And it's actually not that complicated. Watchtower just tries to make it complicated, and it just isn't. And this is, I think this is actually important to why it's important to have good information out there, because witnesses who are curious about this and will Google Jehovah's Witnesses Norway, like they're probably going to find bitter winter articles, that stuff funded by Sesner, Massimo Intervene, and those pro-cult think tank people. I worry about them finding weird gonzo information about, I don't know, the 10-year plan or some crap. But
yeah,